I can't tell you how sorry I am, Charlie. It isn't like me to send out a wrong order.
Well, there's nothing to worry about, Meyer. We got the order stopped before it was delivered, didn't we? No one's the wiser, except us.
It only goes to show that anybody can make a mistake. Nobody's perfect.
I sure do appreciate your understanding.
Oh, look, Meyer, you the first guy that ever made a mistake? Well, I've made my share, too. So don't worry about it. Just be more careful next time, okay?
Okay, thanks, Charlie. You've really been all right on this deal.
Oh, go on now. Get back to work. We'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you around, Charlie, Barry.
So long.
I'll be seeing you. Barry?
Yeah, Charlie?
You know, there could get to be too many mistakes coming from Meyer.
Oh, but this is only the first one.
Yes, but one mistake can be too many in his position.
But you just told him not to worry.
Oh, I know what I told him. You've got to talk to them kind or they panic. That's part of being a boss. You understand?
Sure, I understand, Charlie.
Now, I want you to keep your eye on Meyer.
Sure.
The first time that he does anything wrong, I want to know about it. We'll get it corrected.
I understand exactly what you mean. I'll take care of good old Meyer Jefferson for you, Charlie.
Tact is an essential part of dealing with other people. However, tact does not mean telling a person one thing and meaning another. This sort of two-facedness is more aptly called hypocrisy. Sometimes it might be felt that a false front is necessary, that it saves hard feelings and misunderstandings. But does such a lie save hard feelings, or merely postpone them? The Apostle Paul said, "In fact, at no time have we turned up either with flattering speech, just as you know, or with a false front for covetousness." A truly honest man, while tactful, can have no flattering words and false front in dealing with his fellow man.
I never feel comfortable when you go to visit Charlie Sterling, Mr. Summers.
Well, don't worry, Terry. I promise I'll try to be very careful. But Mr. Goodman did ask me to show him these samples. Record Products will want to start printing a new company magazine before long with us, and I have to know exactly what they want.
I'm not sure you'll get it from him.
Well, if he really isn't trustworthy, as you're so afraid, Terry, then I'll try to be very careful.
I sure hope so.
Say, Meyer, may I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, Barry. What can I do for you?
I was just passing by the mail room, and I so happened to catch sight of this order on its way out. The mail clerk said it came from you.
But I never sent that order out. I left it right here, on my desk somewhere. I'm sure I left it here. I was only running the inventory check on it now.
I don't know about who left what where, but I do know here it is. I just wouldn't want Charlie to see anything like this. What with the little almost misdelivery of the Blackburn order and a little misrouting of the Karsten papers, he might be able to get the feeling that this is just general tendency.
You know that isn't true, Barry.
Sure, I know it isn't true, but that isn't always the way upper management looks at it. They just don't always understand.
You wouldn't mention anything to Charlie about it, would you? It's all cleared up. I don't understand how it happened. I'm positive I had it right here on my desk.
I'm positive you did too, Meyer. And we'll just keep this between us, however it happened. Probably some little mishap that could happen to anybody. No need for us to tell Charlie.
How's our little project with Meyer coming along? Is he straightening up? I sure hope he does. You know, he's a good prospect for the company.
Well, I did exactly what you said. And the pigeons done something wrong. We made sure.
Well, I didn't tell you to do anything like that. I only said keep a good eye on him. Let me know the minute he does anything wrong.
Oh, the way you were handling the situation,
Well, what were you doing to him?
Nothing. I just happened to notice that Meyer sent along another wrong job order for the Karsten's ball bearing order. That could have been a pretty expensive mistake.
You mean he still hasn't learned?
Oh, sometimes men will never learn, Charlie.
Well, maybe not, but I spoke as frankly as I knew how to Meyer. I really do want to set him straight.
Well, as far as I could see, you did the best thing under the circumstances.
Yes, and now I'm getting repaid by more mistakes. Well, I'm glad you were able to check that out and get me the truth of the matter. We'll probably handle Meyer accordingly.
And don't forget the one who made sure Meyer gets what's really coming to him.
And don't worry, I'll never forget your kind of man, Barry. You know, I think this is going to be one of the nicest things we've done yet.
I'm glad you're pleased.
Excuse me, will you, Joe?
Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, again? Yes, send him on in. Just a little piece of unpleasant business, Joe.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Barry says you wanted to see me, Charlie.
Yes, Meyer, come on in. Meyer, this is Joe Summers, Joe Meyer Jefferson.
I'm glad to meet you, Joe.
Likewise.
Meyer, I understand there's been a little more trouble with the orders. Something about some ball bearings.
Well, the order somehow slipped off my desk and...
Well, just a word to the wise to be cautious ought to be enough, don't you think?
Well, that's all it takes.
Well, that's good, fine. So you go ahead, get your job done, Meyer. Nothing to worry about.
I don't know how it happened, but I'll do my best to make no more mistakes. So long, Charlie.
It's a shame, Joe. He's a good man.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm afraid we're just going to have to fire him.
Fire him?
Yes, you know how it is. This just wasn't the time or place, I guess, to tell him, but what must be done must be done. You know how it is.
Oh, I kind of got the impression that all was forgiven and forgotten.
Yeah, well, you know how the business world is, Joe. I'm sure you've had to fire people before. I imagine this is only a standard way to handle it. Keeps them from panicking.
Well, I imagine...
Well, what way do you do it, Joe? Your men have more confidence in talking to you. Then you send them a note and let them know they're relieved. So tell me, what else would you do?
I only meant it as a passing comment. Nothing more, Charlie.
Oh, come on, Joe. I want to know how you do it. If this isn't the way, what is?
I didn't say this wasn't the way.
But you have another way of handling people.
At Goodman's, yes.
Well, spill it then. I'm a frank and honest man. I can take straight talk.
Well, Charlie, you see, my background has taught me, like you said you believe, to try to speak the truth to them.
Well, mine too.
To use tact, but to speak the truth.
Well, I didn't lie to him.
No, I didn't say you lied. But you had asked me if this was the way I did business.
Yeah?
Well, I'd like to show you something from my Bible here in my briefcase. It's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 5. And it gives a good principle, Charlie.
Good. Read on.
You want to hear this?
Sure I want to. Read.
In fact, at no time have we turned up either with flattering speech, just as you know, or with a false front for covetousness. God is witness. You notice it said we haven't shown up with flattering speech or with a false front. Now, this was written by the Christian apostle Paul, who enjoyed the confidence of a great number of people.
So,
one reason for this confidence was the fact that he always spoke straight with them. It wasn't his practice to compliment a person if the person merited being set straight.
But this is business, Joe. It takes some of that.
Well, Paul meant business, too. Don't you think, Charlie, that the expression, this is business, is sometimes kind of overworked as an excuse for doing something that's not entirely correct?
Well, anybody can think what they want.
Nevertheless, from where I sit, do you think telling Meyer here in one breath not to worry and in the next planning to have him removed from his job is going to build up the confidence of other employees in your word?
Well, they're all adults. They can understand the necessity of it.
Well, this is a point where I feel a little differently. If a person in a responsible position, such as you, acts a certain way to people, he can almost expect they will be acting that way back to him. It's like another scripture said, for whatever a man is sowing, this he will also reap. So if you're sowing a lack of confidence, the main thing you'll reap is the same type of lack of confidence, even if they can understand its necessity.
But he's making mistakes. Barry Fisher showed me.
Look, Charlie, how you run your business is your own concern. We got into the conversation because you wanted to know what I did. So I told you, that's all. What you do is your own affair.
So you don't think my idea is right?
Well, for me, I try to follow the Bible guidelines in dealing with people in every circumstance. You're a free moral agent to do as you want. Only for myself, I want a person to understand exactly what my position is when I talk to him.
And our positions don't agree.
Not altogether, no. But you know how I stand, and I don't think we're any less friendly for it, do you?
No, it's no different between us. But suppose you told other people I was that way when I wasn't around.
Well, that might give you an idea of what Meyer could be going through. You wouldn't know it was happening, just as he doesn't know the jeopardy his job is in.
Boy, that sure gives you something to think about.
Charlie!
Barry Fisher, what are you doing in Meyer's office?
Well, you told me to keep an eye on him. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but I didn't tell you to go snooping around his desk.
Well, look, how else do you expect me to find out what he's doing? I mean, right in front of me. You were shaking his hand, slapping him on the back, telling him not to worry. Then you told me not 1 minute after you shake his hand that you want me to keep an eye on him. We might have to fire him. All I'm doing is handling it your way.
But that isn't my way. I told you not to do it that way.
Well, then you don't know yourself.
Charlie, Barry, what brings you to my office?
Well, we're just checking to see if you had those layouts for the new company magazine anywhere. They seem to be misplaced.
Oh, shut up, Barry. I think I had you pegged wrong, Meyer. And I think I had Barry pegged wrong, too.
Oh, it's taken you long enough to see that.
No, I had you pegged wrong when I thought I could trust you, Barry. Now tell him what you were doing in his desk.
Well, how else was I going to find the evidence you wanted against him if I didn't make some up?
You mean you're the one who took that order for ball bearings off my desk?
Sure. Charlie wanted me to do it.
I never said it that way, Barry. But I guess a man reaps what he sows, and I was asking for it.
You mean somebody's been trying to frame me?
Yeah, that's it, Meyer. I'm afraid somebody's been trying to frame you.
What kind of place is this anyway? You were always the friendly guy.
Yeah, he's friendly like a tethered rattlesnake.
I said that was enough, Barry.
What are you going to do now? You going to fire him?
Oh, I think I want to quit. I don't understand how a man could treat somebody else that way, Charlie.
Yeah, it's easy if you know how.
I told you before, Barry, to keep your mouth shut. Look, Meyer, I'm sorry. I made some mistakes. It just took a little jolting to make me see it. You're a good man here. How about staying on? Why, we could raise your salary.
All the overtime I put in. The weekends. I don't believe you now, Charlie. You could offer me a partnership in the company, signed, sealed, and delivered. And I'm not sure I'd believe you.
But, Meyer, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, you were telling me the truth before when you said not to worry. You're behind me.
But I admit I had a false front. I admit I made a mistake. Now, what more do you want me to do? Crawl?
I'll think about it, Charlie. I'm a man, too. And I'm not sure whether I really want to work where I can't be trusted or trust anyone else.
Well, then you quit?
Well, I told you I'd think about it.
The value of telling the truth to your fellow man should never be underestimated. Hypocrisy only breeds more hypocrisy. In turn, lies beget lies. And as the scripture said, for whatever a man is sowing, this he will also reap.
The program, All Scripture is Beneficial, was produced by the Watchtower Society and presented by Jehovah's Witnesses.